Hello subscribers and non-subscribers. So we're going to be starting my Empire Total War series using the American Civil War mod. I will, if I remember, put a link in the description for it. Only one person voiced their opinion as to what they wanted me to play as, and that was, assuming I pronounced the name right, Sergio777T. And he wanted me to play as the Union. Now I personally didn't really care which one I played as. So let's go ahead and hop in, play as the Union, normal difficulty. I had to switch over to the Warpath map because the game was crashing on me constantly if I tried to play it with the other, the RTI 3 map. So this is actually going to be probably not too lengthy. Ouch, that was kind of loud. 1 second, let me go back. I think I need to adjust my audio settings. No, they were fine. It just seemed really loud. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now it's quiet again. Okay, no idea what the hell happened there. Guess I had to go and open that up just so that it would realize what the settings were. Quite silly. You guys can pause the video and read this over here, but I don't think many of you guys will really care too much for it. But we're going to play on normal because I don't consider myself exactly great at this game, but I also don't consider myself absolute garbage either. So let's go ahead and start, and hopefully once I load in and save, it will not crash on me. But it probably will, just to troll me. Those are some pretty crappy last words, if I do say so myself. Now hopefully the game doesn't crash on me while I'm playing. It is possible for it to do that, and it is quite annoying to say the least. Awesome, does not crash on me. Okay, so I'm going to have to use the Warpath map. I'm fine with that. For whatever reason, Philadelphia is our capital. It should be DC, but okay. Now I plan to end this series essentially once I take over the entire Confederacy. Now, of course, if they expand it to Mexico, I'll go and have to invade Mexico. So, until there is no more gray on the map, this series will essentially keep on going. So this could potentially go for a lengthy amount of time, but it could also end up being a very short battle. So let's go and talk with Britain. What do you say for an alliance? I don't like those terms. Okay. Go and talk to the United Provinces and request a trade agreement and military alliance. Awesome. They're unfriendly towards me, so I shall not talk to them. Now granted, these guys are quite literally minor nations. And I could go and trade with the Confederacy for like a turn. Maybe a little bit longer depending on how the game wants. Depending on how soon they want to start the war. Granted, I could declare war on them right now, but I don't have any real military, so why the hell would I do that? Seems kind of silly. So I'm just going to go and build up my infrastructure. It's never a bad thing to have a lot of farms. So on and so forth. Oh, looks like that might be the last undeveloped plot of land that I have currently. No, it's not. Which sells for more? Cotton or tobacco? Let's check. Wrong thing. Wrong thing again. Government. Trade. Cotton or sugar? Or, excuse me, cotton or tobacco? Cotton sells for more, so we shall go with cotton. Okay, so there you go. That is the last of all the undeveloped land, so we shall now proceed to upgrade things that have already been built. I don't really need that because we don't have any tech tree right now. I think they plan to add it in though in a later patch. So we could always go back and play this game again. I think they also potentially plan to add in all the other nations that you can play as here, so I could actually go and play as Great Britain or Mexico or whoever, if memory serves me correctly, but I'd have to go and actually look. Oh, missed a lot of undeveloped land over there, iron mine, but I have now corrected the issue, so we can act as though nothing ever happened. Let's see, upgrade the roads. It's not really roads though, they're actually railroads. Okay. Oh, hey, missed that. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go and spend basically all our money this turn on upgrading. Oh, is there anything here? Oh, there's a gold mine there. There's a farm there. How did I miss some of these territories? Okay, that looks like it's everything, but I have no money. I can recruit 1 unit of line infantry to defend DC. Granted, 20 unit of line infantry consisting of 90 people. Oh, did it reset my settings? I think it did. Damn it. So I can check graphics. Okay, this isn't going to tell me. Okay, I can go and correct it at a later date after this initial episode, which will probably be 30 minutes. I think I'll do that for all series. Essentially, the first episode will be 30 minutes. So go and turn. Confederacy wants me to give them Maryland, Kentucky, and Kansas. In exchange, they'll give me New Mexico and technology that, even though there's no tech tree, I don't know how the hell they're giving me technology. They'll also give me some money for it. I'm sorry, but really? And that's a crappy territory, and they want me to give them Kentucky, which is a whole hell of a lot better, with the same amount of population. How about refuse offer? Thank you very much. Okay. American Civil War chronicles the American Civil War. The American Civil War 1861 to 1865 was a bitter sectional rebellion between the United States of America and the Confederate States of America, formed of 11 southern state governments, which moved to secede from the Union after the 1860 election of Abraham Lincoln as President of the United States. The Union's victory was eventually achieved by leveraging advantages in population, manufacturing, and logistics, and through a strategic naval blockade denying the South's access to the world's market. In many ways, the conflict's central issues, the enslavement of African Americans, the role of constitutional federal government, and the rights of states, are still not completely resolved. Not surprisingly, the Confederate Army surrendered at Appomattox on April 9th, 1865, did little to change many Americans' attitude towards the potential powers of central government. The passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution in the years immediately following the war couldn't change the racial prejudice prevalent among the Americans of the day, and the process of the Reconstruction couldn't heal the deeply personal wounds inflicted by 4 brutal years of war and more than 970,000 casualties, 3% of the population, including approximately 560,000 deaths. As a result, controversies affected by the war's unresolved social, political, economic, and racial tensions continue to shape contemporary American thought. The causes of the war, the reason for the outcome, and even the name of the war itself are subject to much of controversy even today. Reasons for war: before the Constitution of the United States of America became the supreme law of the land in 1789, the sole basis for recognizing a white person's right to hold a black person as property was the common law of the state in which the white person resided. The American people recognized the duty of the U.S. government to deliver up a black person escaping from a slave state, but there was nothing within their constitution that said their government must recognize the right of a white person to hold a black person as property. Founding fathers used the Constitution as a means to control the power of democracy in order to protect the minority from the tyranny of the majority. The people of that democracy attempted to usurp the law, whatever the moral ground it claimed. The retribution it faced was civil war. At its root, the American Civil War was about the human impulse not to submit willingly to the power of the majority to oppress. It is the sacred heritage, the power of the people to change a government that both free black and white alike shared, though sorely used in the post-war struggle for social equality between the races. The flag of the Confederate States of America is a pungent reminder of this fact. The Confederacy fought for their common law rights regarding slavery and their legal right to leave the Union, whilst the Union fought to preserve the Union and enforce the U.S. Constitution over common law regarding slavery. Okay. Now let's build up an actual military. Well, I don't know what I want to do, actually. First, let's actually check. No, not objectives. Government. Policies. Okay, our taxes are, well, low. Like, really low. But the majority of the areas out there are not exactly happy. Really? Nebraska is at least happy as well, then. We'll go and build them a governor's residence. That'll somehow make them happy. Guess just because it's a gay. But I don't know, it doesn't really explain that well, does it? +1 repression in the region. I guess Kansas can also go and, well, yeah, Kansas territory can also go and get that. Iowa and Minnesota can also go and get one. Military governor's barracks in Missouri. And Ohio can also go and get one. You need one. West New York needs one. Why is New York divided like that? Okay. Okay, that's all the territories that are not exactly happy. Okay, so here in Philadelphia, we should have a barracks and a great arsenal and state house. State house is just because why the hell not? And now we shall go and spend a little bit of money to upgrade our territories a little bit more. And that's basically all the money I have. Okay. What do they have here? Well, that I do not know, but I can assume that they have a fairly... They just have a garrison defending Richmond. However, war has yet to break out, so there's no reason for me to go and attack them. Actually, you know, here. No military lines, but I can have the trade agreement. Yes, thank you. Okay. Mexico. Hey, can I have a trade agreement? 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Just had to answer the phone real quick. So, Mexico doesn't want to give me the trade agreement? Yeah, okay. Would Spain like a trade agreement? Yes, they will. How about Haiti? Oh, hey, that's a much better deal than what I have. Than I was offering them. I mean, the war does not break out between any of the other powers. So, yeah. Sure. Wait, how the hell did the United Provinces... What in the hell? Did... Wait, I'm confused. When the Confederacy offered up a trade agreement and alliance with, essentially with the Netherlands, did they really give them Upper Texas? What the hell? Well, that's interesting. Let's trade with Grand Columbia. Oh, they don't want to trade with me. France. Hey, we're friends, right? Oh, yeah, you'll accept that. Awesome. Can I also have an alliance? No, of course not. Okay, then. I'm cool with that. I got mostly what I wanted. Oh, hey, now Mexico will give me the trade agreement because they realized everyone else is giving me one. But Grand Columbia still will not give me one. Okay. Oh, hey, Mexico, do you want to be friends? No, you don't want to be more than just friends. Spain? No. Okay. Britain? Yeah, awesome, thanks. France? Yeah? I figured as much, okay. Wait, Grand Columbia, if I give you trade agreement and alliance, will you... No, they, of course they wouldn't accept. Can I just have an alliance? No, they don't want just an alliance, okay. So I've got some nice, powerful allies. I mean, I've got Haiti, who's absolute crap in terms of a military superpower. Actually, crap in terms of anything, if I were to actually take a look. Their power is apparently terrifying, because no one really has a military right now, so essentially everyone's terrifying if they have at least one unit. But they have crap wealth. And then I've got my good friend Britain up here, terrifying power and spectacular wealth. United Provinces, terrifying power. They are affluent in terms of wealth. But those are my only allies. But, I mean, come on, I've got Britain up here, and then I've got Netherlands. But granted, Netherlands is buddy-buddy with the Confederacy, so I may not be able to get the Netherlands to help me. Which is a shame. Okay, let's check how much money is being brought in. 21,972. I quite like that. I really do. I don't quite understand how the other one is. Income gained from other sources such as payments from diplomatic negotiations and protectorates. However, I have no protectorates, and I do not recall having anyone give me money. So, that doesn't really make much sense to me. But maybe it's this export stuff. No. Exports value 8648. That's 12,000, and that would be listed under trade income. I have no idea. And it does. Sadly, you're not allowed to see imports. Oh well, whatever. So yes, somehow I am getting tons of money from something. I don't know what exactly. 1 second. Okay, back. That was the phone again. Okay, so end turn. Oh, so for trade agreement, this time they shall give me explosive shells. Okay, I may take that. But I do have to ask. They got in alliance with Mexico. Damn it, Mexico. I was hoping you would go to war with them. That way they'd fight a war on two fronts once war breaks out. But you know, I'm fine with that. I'll take that agreement. It gets me some more money in the process of waiting for them to, or waiting for war to break out. So the South secedes when Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, staunch Unionist, and known opponent to slavery, is elected President of the United States. The South Carolina legislature receives a threat. Calling a state convention, the delegates voted to remove the state of South Carolina from the Union on 20th of December 1860, claiming it their constitutional right to do so. The cession of South Carolina is followed by 6 more states: Mississippi, January 9th, 1861, Florida, January 10th, 1861, Alabama, January 11th, 1861, Georgia, January 19th, 1861, Louisiana, January 26th, 1861, and Texas, February 1st, 1861. In contrast, the territory of Kansas is given statehood and admitted to the Union. First use of telescopic sights. The standard weapon for sharpshooters, light infantry troops recruited for their marksmanship skills, was the Sharp's breech-loading rifle, but frequently the writings of the sharpshooters mention another rifle, a heavy target rifle used only by an assigned shooter for long-range work, the muzzle-loaded cap-lock rifle. By the time of the Civil War, target shooting in the United States was a well-established and very accurate science. The Sharp's breech-loaders were a step in the right direction for speed of loading and accuracy combined, but they were not really any more accurate than similar civilian hunting rifles of the period. This is why there were also special service rifles with the Sharps, such as the cap-lock rifle, which could also be fitted with a telescopic sight for additional long-range accuracy, introduced from 1861 onwards. This was the first recorded instance of telescopic sights being used for military purposes. Okay. I think I'll give DC a military governor's place. Yeah, I need to fix this. These are too small of unit sizes. Maybe it just says those, and they actually are larger. I don't know, again, I'd have to go and check and make sure. But I can't check while playing. I think once the war breaks out is when I'll go and end this, depending on what happens between here and there. They'll give me tech if I give them a boatload of my money for a trade agreement. How about no? Afraid I found that to be a pretty crappy deal, personally. Okay, so build up our military up here in Philadelphia. 20 of you guys are better. Well, in terms of morale, Union colored infantry are better, but in terms of melee attack, the Union regular infantry are better. These guys have Enfield 1853 rifle muskets. These guys have Springfield model 1861 rifles. Why do these guys... Oh, yeah, no. Okay, I can understand why these guys are probably given the slightly... what I'd imagine would be a crappier weapon. And that's because these are colored units, while these are not. Okay. Okay. So... I mean, I kind of like the idea of having higher morale, personally. Look at George B. McKellen in here. McLennan, excuse me. 2 howitzers, and... get rid of those guys. I want 2 cavalry. Which cavalry do I want? Not these. Kind of prefer these. These guys are generally better. I'll go with the Union cavalry, 2 of those. I want the cavalry to be towards the end. Now, which do I prefer? These guys. Okay, so essentially Frenchmen. Or these guys. I think I prefer the Union regular. Oh, and yeah, these places also still have some growing to do. Let's actually build up our railroads. I did have a gold mine somewhere here, correct? Yes, right there. Build that up. That's furs. I don't care much for furs. The mines are definitely the better ones in terms of fast payment. Or fast, quick and return on investment. So great estates. Do anything else? No, I don't have any more money. Okay. So just some militia here to defend Washington should once war breaks out. Not should, it will. The game will force me into it eventually. I don't think it'll be right away. Take a little while. Also, Upper Texas obviously could not technically secede from the Union because it's not a part of the Union, and there's no way it could be because it was given to the Netherlands. So unless it feels like seceding from the Netherlands and coming back, yeah, that's not happening. So let's see. I'm supposed to make more money, and these places are still fairly upset out there. I don't make much money from taxes. Most of my money comes from trade. Speed this up. And here we go! War has broken out, and I will be ending this as soon as I accept their declaration. Pull down your bridges and prepare for a whipping war it is, sir. So let's see. Haiti does not join me, but the United Provinces, so the Netherlands, and Britain decide to join me. Their friend Mexico does not appear to join. No, they had to actually have joined, because they're still listed over there. Or maybe it won't tell me, I don't know. I'll have to check and confirm this. I'm moving in on DC. Trade agreement cancelled. Look at all these other ones first. Okay, so the South creates a government. At a convention in Montgomery, Alabama, the 7 seceding states create the Confederate Constitution, a document very similar to the United States Constitution, but with great emphasis on the autonomy of each state. Southern Democrat Jefferson Davis is named as provisional president of the Confederacy until elections can be held in South State. Troops begin to seize federal forts and military stores throughout the South, saying that these are now Confederate state property. Robert E. Lee, the idol of the South, to this day, Virginian Robert Edward Lee has some difficulty in adjusting to the new form of warfare that unfolds with the Civil War, but this does not prevent him from keeping the Union armies in Virginia at bay for almost 3 years. The son of Revolutionary War Light Horse Harry Lee, he attended West Point and graduated second in his class. During his 4 years at the military academy, he did not earn a single demerit and served as the Cadet Corps adjutant. Adjutant. Upon his 1829 graduation, he was posted to the Engineers, particularly distinguished himself scouting for and guiding troops. He won 3 brevets and was slightly wounded at Chapultepec. I don't know. Probably mispronounced that. During the Mexican War, Lee became superintendent of the military academy in 1852 when the mounted arm was expanded in 1855. Lee accepted lieutenant colonelcy of the 2nd Regiment in order to escape from the painfully slow promotion in the Engineers. Ordered to Western Texas, he served with his regiment until the 1857 death of his father-in-law forced him to ask for a series of leaves to settle the estate. In 1859, he was called upon to lead a force of U.S. Marines put an end to John Brown's Harper's Ferry raid, which he successfully concluded. Thereafter, he served again in Texas until summoned to Washington in 1861 by Winfield Scott, who tried to retain Lee in the U.S. service, but the Virginian rejected the command of the Union's field forces on the day after Virginia succeeded. He then accepted an invitation to visit Governor John Letcher in Virginia. His resignation as a colonel of the 1st U.S. Cavalry, to which he had recently been promoted, is accepted on April 25, 1861, and he is consequently bestowed with overall command of the Confederate Armed Forces in Virginia. Confederate Civil Service. The Civil Service is created by the Provisional Government meeting on February 4, 1861, copying the same basic pattern as the previous United States federal government. The imbalance between the Union and the Confederation leads to a total war setting for the Confederates, with all resources dedicated towards that war. This includes conscription, radical taxation, and the seizure of goods, and such as the Treasury and War Departments are heavily expanded during the war to cope with the works of the 17,500 odd employees of the Confederate Civil Service. Over the course of the war, 57,124 worked for the Department of War. This department employs large numbers of African Americans, children, and women, without these they are unable to deal with their war work. There are 6 departments: Department of the State, Department of the Treasury, War Department, Department of the Navy. You say there's 6, I see 4, 2 of which are repeated up here. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Okay, so war has broken out. Mexico did not join either side. To be honest, they're not going to have such a great time, I don't think. The Confederacy, because, well, they gotta worry about my good friend here, the United Provinces, and then my good friend up here, Britain, both of which will be able to technically single-handedly beat the crap out of them, assuming that either of the two actually does anything at all during this, which we will not be able to find out. I need to build some units here, so line infantry there to defend the city. I need some in St. Louis also. We'll go with regular infantry here, and I'm gonna have to cut this off right here. Let me save real quick, and done. Goodbye.